Hey guys, what's going on? It's Dean here today with Burn One, and I'm joined with Kid again.
I'm being held hostage to do these videos. Someone please send help.
Oh yeah, they're bad. They're bad because guess what? I am one of the worst players you'll ever meet. So this is round two of AO playing this absolute garbage pile. I was having some troubles with OBS, so didn't get it running until like beginning a second turn. So my opponent starts off with the mill runner. I look at him. I drop down a brainstorm, and I tell him, "You're going to mill a climax." And then he mills a climax. Is that a second mill runner? Oh wait, no, no, no. So his mill runner gets the kill because I go first. I open a clean because I think my hand is double clean cut. And you see, I clocked the Yang's dad. I think that's part of my problem. I needed to keep that card because I didn't have access to a brainstorm. So now here we go. I clock a choice because I don't actually need it, and this is where I tell my opponent, "Don't worry. You are going to simply mill a climax with this ruby." As you see here, I use the ironwood to ditch, to top check, to grab back the clean cut.
I see the judges are back.
The judges are back. I discard a choice here. I see a dust on top. I think my hand already has dust. I'm really greedy. I kind of want it, but I don't think I can get it. So if I'm not mistaken, my hand already has dust in it. And I want the double dust. So yeah, I put down the Pure Rize, which is 2,000 power. I ask him if he wants to run. But I tell him he'll mill a climax. He's thinking about it. He's thinking. And he mills. He tries to run, but I'm like, you know what? Those things suck. They mill climaxes every time. So I'm able to trade the Rize with his mill runner. Get the 3-card dig. Find a Weiss level 1. Hand fix. You know, hand fixing is big. What do I discard here? Discarding a dust, because I think I have double dust. And now, I opt not to put the Pyrrha into the... I opt not to put the Pyrrha into memory, but to put it in the back row so that way I can use it later,
Oh, so
right?
double hand fix. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
The reason being is if you clean cut an ironwood, it's just kind of terrible,
It
right?
does
Like, what do you do?
nothing. Yeah, it does absolutely nothing. Well, at least you have options with Pierre, right?
It's one of the problems with the list. There's not good clean cut targets. That's like an
Yep.
okay one. Now, the problem is my opponent has the strongest deck imaginable. He is on not one, not two, but 3 Nolans.
Reno one's pretty powerful.
3 Nolans. I will tell you right now. Here's a spoiler. That Pyrrha never gets to move. It is stuck there forever. It is never leaving the back row. I don't remember what colors my opponent has here. I think he leveled red. Hits one on a brainstorm. So he milled a climax with the runner, canceled, mulliganed to climax, and then hit on a brainstorm. Neon Cat, Nolan, Ironwood. Pierre is stunned now. Hits a pants, manages to find climax for next turn. I eat the hit. The only card to level is the Restander, I think. It's the only blue I had. So let's see. I draw here. Clock. And we use the dust to be able to try to get through the deck and find like better cards, because I don't think my hand's looking too hot. However, the dust did backfire. Those options are less than stellar, to be honest. However, I did trigger a pants last turn, right? So I'm able to use the Neptune here to pay out the pants, to also dodge the Nolan's bottom deck effect, and then clean cut it to the back row to have an Adachi for level 2 by clean cutting it on the Ironwood. Top check, we see the 4th dust of the game. I think I assigned the power on the Neptune to the Liren, so the Liren does not get reversed. The Yang is able to clear the 1k Neon Cat just fine, and then the Liren is able to get the clear as well, so now that that's... This way, my board cannot get bottom decked. I have access to the Liren if I need it. I think this is me pulling out my phone because you were asking me how I was doing. In, like, the beginning of Australia. Do you remember that?
Yep, I do remember that.
Yeah, and I think I'm telling you, like, okay, things are a little rough. I think I'm out, like, 7. I think I'm showing, like, 7 in grave right now.
Yeah, I do remember you doing that.
I'm like, man, my opponent has gate. He has combo. I milled 2 climaxes off of my dust. It's kind of doomed. It's kind of doomed. Brainstorm hits 1. Triggers pants, gets back climax. Cancels once every turn. Players just built different. And because I threw away Yang's dad, I can't, I actually have, like, no Brainstorm, right? I have, like, nothing. I only have this Liren, which would be a clock plus. Like, I have to pay 1 clock myself to grab, like, a Brainstorm, which is not ideal. And then we see the Pura get stunned again. He doesn't care that Neptune's back there. Granted, Neptune's not a very good card. That's why I normally don't sleeve him, right? Adachi's. What do you think about Adachi's, Kit? I think that they're, like, kind of outdated.
Pretty much, yeah, especially if that's all the card does. You're just better off playing something else.
What about Neptune? He power pumps on play as well.
How much does it help you get over specific lines? If it
15.
does, like power thresholds?
15, but
maybe.
my deck doesn't need reverses. Well, this list is really bad, though. Yeah, hits a soul trigger. It's for 4. I eat 4. This is peak Weiss Schwarz. And this is what happens when, like, the deck doesn't resolve combo, though, sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you just don't have the deck speed to actually get through. I remember my hand. My hand had some Weisses in it. E2 again, so I'm 2-3 now. Pyrrha still stunned in the back row, and Adachi that doesn't really do anything. Two-card deck. I think I'm out 8. Maybe? Was I out 7? Clock a choice. Oh, I remember now. So I did have 2 climaxes in that deck at the 3-card deck at the bottom, but it was a choice and a pants, and I drew the choice for turn. And I had, like, double combo in hand. So I clocked the choice because I couldn't use it for, like, at least another turn. Hopefully 2, right?
Yeah.
And my top end digs. So my hope is... My hope is always... And I don't know if this is right or wrong to do. I don't know how you play with these. I tend to throw away climaxes for my top end if my top end digs.
Like, same. Especially if it's like top check 3 or higher, and you're like to like find the climax, then and you basically have like 2 or 3 of those in your hand, then like I'll just ditch the climax every time. So we see almost.
Second deck. I think I refreshed a climax. I could be wrong. We see just refreshed 5, right? Or no, I refreshed 6, right? Mm-hmm. And we see trigger. Weiss removed a choice, trigger pants, add back choice, So that's 4 out already. And the Weiss top check 3 is mandatory. You can't show less. You can't opt not to do it. You put down the Weiss, you put down the climax, you got a mill. Attacking with the Blake because, while attack order doesn't really matter, your opponent is more likely to eat the first swing than they are the later ones. And once again, the Yang top checks, or the Weiss top checks yet another climax. So now I'm out 5. I stack a choice to be able to add a Yang to hand. No, wait, I had a memory shoot counter? Why did I do that? Why did I add a memory shoot counter, do you think? Was it maybe to deny him a combo? 6 countered at 8-5. I guess the RWBY doesn't clear because his list doesn't play a lot of power pumps, if I remember correctly.
Did he have like the restander or anything like that? Was that something you were considering also, like for later, or
No. His list, it had cards. We see a stock healer come down. Brainstorm hit. Salvaging a combo.
didn't he hit 2 on that brainstorm? Did he
No, he
not
only hit
salvage the
one.
second card? Oh, he only hit one. Okay.
Nolan stunning the Pyrrha again. Still hasn't been
Mhm.
allowed to untap. 3 turns in a row.
Well, it could untap. It just can't
No.
move.
Oh, oh yeah. Look, I just kept a tap back there. So I cancel the first swing. I think I asked, are you bottom decking it? I don't think he said anything, and I went, oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, he just goes, crash Nolan, and then I'm pretty sure I'm like, hey, you bomb decking? And then he just, like, attacked with the next lane. I went, oh. Huh? I memory shoot the Blake, and I forget why. I think it was, like, if I... Because it's 7-5 on the RWBY, 8... What was the reason there? There was a reason that I memory shot the Blake. I think it was conserving a 2-soul beater was like more of my goal because of how far behind I am.
Yeah. I mean, this turn you get a... Yeah.
I get a really mediocre finisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first time we're actually seeing the finisher come down, it just gives another character cancel burn on climax placement. Yeah, that was my top end of choice. Pairing with the restander, it's not too bad, but when you can't find the restander, the deck gets a little rough. Oh, we see this though. Dust for deck speed.
That's for deck speed. Pay to get top 2 cards to your hand.
Yeah, well, okay, look. I have 3 attacks, that's 3 deck speed, but I had 6 cards in deck.
Fair.
So I needed that 2 extra card mill. And I see a Climax Swapper and a Brainstorm. It's my first time seeing a Brainstormer this game, by the way. I'm 3-1. No, I'm 3-2 after healing. And that's my first Brainstorm of the game. Like I said, this list may have had some holes in it. So I think I gave the Yang cancel burns to themselves, because, like, where else would I put it? And he cancels on 4, and then he eats 2. Swing for 5, cancels on 2, cancels on 2. Swing for 3, cancels.
So when you did do the dust, why didn't you go like any further, knowing you had a climax still in your deck?
Because I didn't know where it was in the deck, and if I okay, so
Was it the only horrible situation like it was the very last card of your deck? Because you can go
I'm out of
5 deep,
stock.
right?
I'm out of stock. The climax of my hand is guaranteed to go back
Mhm.
in, but the one that's left in my deck is not.
I
Right?
mean, I think the only scenario is if it's the last card of your deck, right?
No, but I
And
mean,
you already knew your the card like to leave the climax out and be able to go back in the one you play. You leave one card in your deck, which is guaranteed 1 damage, right?
it's not guaranteed 1 damage.
Wait, why is it not guaranteed 1 damage? Is there still climax in your deck?
Okay, here's this turn. May be
Mhm.
a little upsetting for me. So I am showing 6 engrave right now. I
Yeah.
triggered a choice. My opponent is about to
Mhm.
present 2 mochas. Now then, in this situation, what do you think happens?
Uh oh no. Are you telling me you texted the mocha first? Please don't say that.
There are 6 in my grave, 1 in stock that you saw me trigger. I am at 3-1 card deck. You have double mocha on board. What is the correct play? Wait, let's pause. Let's pause. I actually want to know before anything happens. What do you think the correct
Well,
play is?
you're at 3-2.
I am at 3-2, 1 card in deck, 6 engrave, 1 in stock.
All right. So no matter what, you're technically 3-3 right now, right? So you need to
Yes.
stick 4. I forgot. Does this mocha let you top check your own deck? It
Yes.
does, right?
It's just normal mocha, but it top checks on play and doesn't heal.
Okay. Oh shit.
Thought experiment time.
You probably do mocha first every time, right? Oh, is that right? No, you cancel. No. No, you actually don't attack with mocha. You attack with the non-mocha, right? Because no matter what, it's going to be 1 damage, right? And mochaing here is basically a burn 1 if it's a climax, right? But attacking is also a burn 1, right? Or am I wrong? I don't know.
Mocha would remove the climax into the
But
next deck, and then
yeah, so
be hitting
you
the next deck on that. Look at this. I have like a 3 card hand. Or maybe it's a little bit
mhm.
more. I have 3 stock. I'm horribly uncompressed. The entire deck is going back in
Yeah.
because you anti-damage yourself for 3 if you don't attack with the mocha, right? And it's a climax.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. So you think that in this situation with this board setup, you
Yeah,
would swing
because
first?
yeah, because you're 3-2, right? You're gonna be 3-3 after this, no matter what,
Okay.
even if you cancel or whatever. Yeah. Whereas does the mocha actually give you any value? So that climax does stay out. You're at least out 2 climaxes, so you refresh 6,
Yes.
and then the mochas can set up lethal, where you can do like swing for 3 and then a possible side for 1 for
Oh,
lethal, right?
okay.
With the mochas.
Maybe I am bad at using mochas because what you said is what happens.
Oh, okay. So you died to a side for 1?
But I thought with my 6 showing in grave and 1 in stock that the correct play. If I was using this mocha, I would have actually gotten rid of the climax. I would have not fronted into this first.
Yeah, I think just like at a glance, you would think like mochaing first is gonna be the play, but I think mochaing as your last 2 attacks is just way better because you get more information after that, right? Because you're basically gambling: is it in his hand or is it the last card of his deck, right? Oh, he put the card back on top, so they had a soul trigger, right? I assume there's no way. Alright, yeah,
Yeah. So that's
he'd even top check his 2 cards.
yeah. I mean, well,
Yeah,
because he already knew the top card, right? Because he put it
yeah,
back.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, that was that game. Okay. Well, I guess I just don't know how to use mocha. When that happened, I was like, man, there's a chance because mocha's swinging for 3. Uh, I just always
I
assumed that
think
mocha's
yeah,
gonna
I
like
think
cancel.
mocha there is first is always a mistake because it actually does help your opponent more than you, right?
And he was also in a situation where, because he saw the soul trigger, right? If he swings for 3,
Mhm.
he sets up a guaranteed kill with 1, or he has a side for 1. It's
Yeah,
a little bit
I
better
mean,
than I thought.
he gets to check top 4 cards of his deck to find one Soul Trigger, right? Because if he sees the top 2 cards, he just discards the other one and puts the non Soul Trigger on top and then swings for the 3, and then the next one he gets to top check 2
Well, he
again.
gets
Or
to
if you want to
see.
be
Yeah, 4. You're right.
yeah, or if he wants to
No,
be
5.
extra greedy, he can ditch 2 and
He
go
gets to take 5.
go. He can go up to 6 actually, right? Because he can ditch the top 2 and then trigger
Well, no,
that,
no,
and
no,
then
because
ditch.
if for the setup for the 1, you would always only mill the non-soul trigger, right? Only 1, but you would keep the other one. Because 3 and 1, if that's what you're fishing for, you'd want to do that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. If you're fishing for 3 and 1, you always mill the non-soul trigger and then trigger the non-soul trigger. But if you want it to be like do some weird shit where you dig like a crazy amount, technically you can see up to 6 cards, but the cards you triggered then are just completely
I
random.
mean, with the
You
amount
wouldn't
of
know,
soul
right?
triggers in the deck, it's like pretty
Yeah,
likely you're going to see one in top 5, right? Should.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Um, hmm. Maybe I misassessed that situation. It was. Damn. Guess I got outplayed. I guess on that turn.
Yeah,
Um.
I think at a glance too, it's just like it's hard to recognize that because the fact that you put the climax back in and they get it as a refresh is so beneficial for your opponent,
Yeah.
right?
When I actually say it out loud, I guess that's me not being too experienced with Mocha. Every time I would use
Mhm.
it, I wouldn't really get to use it like into opponents' refreshes. I would just like use it, and then my opponent would triple cancel on a fresh deck, and I go, okay, Stoppin's not very
Yeah.
good. We saw it had some application there. It did something.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, now my record is 1-1. And spoiler, we have one more game from Australia.
Oh no,
So
please get me out of here. I'm being held hostage.
yeah,
Send help.
we'll be uploading that one another day. So until
All
then,
right.
this is Burn One signing out.
See you guys.